Hey guys, so this is a picture of Ethan Klein enjoying the mediation that he had with Kaceytron. Now, it was court appointed mediation, which means even if one side or both sides don't want to negotiate, they have to attend these mediation sessions. Again, the judge would be more than happy if this case just resolved with the parties talking to each other. It could take it could save a lot of legal headache for the judge on appeal. It would help the judge with his or her very busy docket, and it would save both the clients a ton of money. As you can see, here is Ethan Klein on the Nintendo Switch. I don't know if he's actually attending the mediation on the Nintendo Switch, but the advantage always goes to the person who has been sued before. So when I was talking about Logan Paul versus CoffeeZilla, Logan Paul is either the plaintiff or the defendant in so many numerous lawsuits that adding a additional lawsuit isn't going to affect him anyway. He's just constantly mired in legal lawsuits, and that's just his life. Ethan Klein is currently in 5 different lawsuits against NVIDIA, against H3 Snark, against Frogan, against Kaceytron, and against Dennis. He does not give a damn. Kaceytron, on the other hand, is appealing to emotion. She even has her sister, Holly Cannabis. Cannabis, haha, funny, 420. I remember in middle school when those jokes were funny. But she has her sister talking about disability. Our younger sister was disabled. I left my abusive relationship because of the stability Casey provided my family. Our mom is deaf, had been trapped with her abuser who stalked her, beat her, and stabbed her 3 times. She probably won't even be alive if Casey had not worked her ass off to buy the house. Our younger sister, who is disabled, is also a victim of violence. I was able to leave my own abusive. So court will not care about this. Court is going to say, hey, did you commit copyright infringement? And when Kaceytron goes on and on about the abuse that her sisters and her mom and she has faced, the court would be like, okay, that's very nice, Kaceytron. Thank you for sharing. But did you commit copyright infringement? And I think this is kind of just very manipulative. Zach Osmond-Gold is right. Lying, gaslighting, and then hostility when pressed. You know what you're doing, and everyone else does too. The reply is the exact reason I hope Ethan sues them into poverty. You insult everyone's intelligence by engaging in such obvious manipulation. So I would agree with Zach on this. It is manipulation. What is the goal of this? The goal of this is to get more donations. Clearly, what was happening was donations. Because right before the mediation, there was an appeal. There was a clip of her begging for more money. And like I've always said, hey guys, keep your donations for yourself. I've been very sick for the past 2 months. My daughter's actually sick with a fever today. I went to take her from daycare. That's my own shit. We all have our own shit to deal with. We all have to help ourselves before we can help other people. And if you do have money to donate, I would absolutely say donate to local charities where you can actually see the effects and specifically the people or the animals you are directly helping. This is emotional blackmail 101. Like, I do not understand them sharing these stories, which, in my opinion as a lawyer, is completely irrelevant to the issue Ethan Klein is suing them. If Kaceytron really cares about her family, her sisters, then she wouldn't risk committing copyright infringement. She would know that Ethan Klein had gone to the copyright office and got it registered. I mean, it's not even negligence or recklessness. It's just arrogance. The arrogance of being a copyright infringer and continuing to do it. She's just lucky that those big movie, like Paramount Pictures, these big movie studios don't really care about someone her size. Otherwise, they would sue her to the ground even worse than Ethan could because they would have more money to do so. Found you a new house in your price range. Again, the fact that she's raised so much money, and this is money that the people donating probably don't make in a year. This is more money than they make in a year. She's been able to raise by doing very little. Is just kind of our society in a nutshell. People using emotional blackmail, and I think that's the correct terminology. I think that's exactly correct. You did this to yourself and deserve it. Your family doesn't, but you do. Using your family to evade. Yeah, so the defense cannot be my family is poor and disabled and unwilling to work. That's not a defense to copyright infringement. I don't know what that's a defense for. I mean, I don't really know, but that's not a defense in the legal sense. Maybe, like, I could see, like, if somebody was a criminal and they would go to jail and then there was mitigating circumstances and you're like, oh, well, I had to steal that loaf of bread because my family was starving. All right. I mean, I get that, but this is a civil lawsuit. Kaceytron definitely has the money. How do we know Kaceytron has the money? She hired not one, but two different law firms. If Kaceytron was so stuck up on the money, she would not hired Denin's law firm. Denin's law firm is incredibly expensive. I don't even need to know the bill, but I just look at their website, count the amount of lawyers, look at how they're dressed, and I can tell you, Denin's attorneys probably cost 10 times the cost of H-Free Snark. H-Free Snark went with an attorney that didn't even graduate law school. Like, this isn't me making this up. This is just fact. And then Frogan went with, like, a single lawyer law firm. Like, basically, Frogan chose probably, like, one of the cheapest lawyers in Los Angeles in the IP field to represent her. So, in terms of H-Free Snark, I mean, you don't need to hire Denin's law firm in Los Angeles. You could have just rolled with the Missouri law firm. And that's how I know she has extra money. Because you can just go with the lawyers that, like, I'll put it this way. People who have money hire extremely expensive lawyers. People who don't have money cannot afford these expensive lawyers. So they don't hire them. So when you look at, like, Elizabeth Holmes, she had a fantastic legal team. When you look at Bernie Madoff, fantastic legal team. When you look at, like, various people, like FTX, right? His, I think, Sam Bankman-Fried, his parents were law professors in Stanford. Excellent legal team. You need money to pay out these lawyers. Her legal team, the one in Los Angeles, is incredibly expensive. And the one in Missouri, it's called double billing because the one in Missouri has to talk to the one in Los Angeles all the time. And when they're on phone calls or emailing each other, those are billable hours. Kaceytron has chose the most expensive way to defend herself when there's nothing to defend. And to raise money for this, it's emotional blackmail, right? Anyway, let me know what you guys think. You guys agree or disagree in the comments below. Bye, guys.